I spent the last 15 years building a company called Unity. We made a game engine that powers most of the games on your phone and on your PlayStation, on your Xbox. And this talk is about me being really fucking annoyed about things that should exist, but they don't, and things that shouldn't exist, but they do. A few weeks ago, I hurt my knee in the gym. Oh, actually, I should say this first. A lot of the stuff in this talk is annoyance about AI being so great, and all these models being so great, and open source models, and llamas being so great, and everything's amazing, but in my life, shit isn't amazing. I do a lot of boring stuff that I don't want to do all the time, and I hate it, and I'm here gonna complain about that for 50 minutes to you. I hurt my knee a while ago in the gym, so I went to the physiotherapist. You would think that the experience is kind of like this, where they check out your knee, but actually the experience is more like this, where there's a dude typing in the computer very slowly answers to questions already answered by my driver's license, which is right in front of him. 25 minutes later into this intake, time is up, I have to leave and my knee still hurts. Makes me fucking pissed off. And since I have some time on my hands now, whenever I'm pissed off, I try to do something about it. So for this guy, I figured I'm gonna build an app. And I made it a website, it's called Schrijf even mee. It basically listens to a conversation, and then when you're done with the conversation, you click a button saying you're done, and then you get some kind of report at the end. And it's not really a report like meeting notes, it's the kind of report that the person that was having the conversation wants to have. So if you had this one, I made it for the huisarts, which is like a doctor, a PD. When they have to put my information in the computer system, it has to be in a very specific format, right? For every complaint, you have to do like subjectief, objectief, evaluatieplan. So we make sure that whatever sort of was said in the conversation comes into that format so that the doctor can actually spend some time on me instead of on his slow computer. You'd think actually that making it was kind of simple, or at least I assumed it, but it was harder than I thought, because going from a microphone to audio transcription, if the conversation is like an hour, at the end of the hour you don't want to wait for like 5 or 7 or 10 minutes for the thing to be transcribed. So I figured there should really be something that sort of like does real-time transcription. So either I'm not good at using the internet and it already exists, and that would be silly. But I figured like, okay, I guess I have to do it myself. Fucking annoying. So we go from the browser's microphone over to a WebSocket. It goes to my server, and then on the server I have to pipe it to FFmpeg to chunk it up in like 30-second segments, and then I send the 30-second segments to Whisper. Actually send them to Rick from Grok. Where are you, Rick? Yeah, what about the fucking rate limits, dude? We cannot work like this.
You're not important enough.
No, here. I get 60 requests a day. Like, this is unusable. Unusable, please. So we have these 30-second segments, and you get back the transcript for that. And it kind of works, but it really breaks at the edges of these segments, right? If the segment cuts right in the middle of a word, you might get like a weirdo word at the end of a segment, or like a weirdo word at the beginning of the next segment. So to fix that, we do like overlap chunks. So I take the few seconds of the previous segment and basically double it up, put it in front of this. It makes it so that the transcript actually has a lot of double stuff in it, but at least you catch every word. And then you just fix it up with the LLM at the end. You basically explain the shit you were doing, and if it appears, fix it up. You know what Whisper actually returns if one of these 30-second chunks is kind of empty?
Yeah, usually ondertitels by something.
It is, you would get shit like this. Zapraszam wasz kanał na YouTube, ale zapraszam nasz interesy. Turns out it's Polish for please like my YouTube channel below. Click like to hit my content. And on another day, when you send a almost empty chunk, which actually kind of happens like in an hour-long conversation, someone, like it happens a lot, you would get copyright onderwerpen. I don't actually have a dog in the whole AI model copyright landscape, but I still find, that I would openly admit to it like this, I still find that kind of hilarious. So yeah, it kind of like these empty chunks sort of like, it feels like you open up like a portal to like the bottom half of the internet. It was, I thought it was fun. Alright, more things that piss me off. You know how you get like an invoice on your phone and then you want to pay it, but you have to like copy paste the IBAN out on the thing, and you can't get the thing, and then you have to do the same thing for the amount and for the account holder and for the invoice number. Fuck that shit. That should not exist. It really should not. Fucking annoying. So meet Alfred. Alfred's my personal assistant. You can tell because he looks chronically miserable. It is a OpenAI assistant inside of a Telegram bot. It works like this. I get an invoice on my iPhone, and then I use like the built-in share feature up there. I click it, and then you see, there you are, Anke. Then I select Alfred from my friends list, and then it sends the invoice to Alfred, and Alfred comes back saying like, hey, great, I'm gonna pay this invoice to Sniji with this IBAN number, with this account, like basically with all the data that you don't have to copy anymore. Every time I use this, it's great. It feels so great.
But it actually works. It's also connected already when you're back.
Let me get to that. So this is one of the first invoices I tried to do. It's an Odido invoice. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Or maybe not Odido, it's not my invoice. But it's one of the first ones I tested. The total amount here is like 36 euros 26. You know what is in the text layer of the PDF?
000.
It's in the text layer of this PDF, it is 3626. You know what's not in the PDF text layer?
The comma.
The fucking comma. They draw the comma on top with an image layer.
See, this image-based is just the only way.
Exactly. So that like a lot of the AI stuff I've been dicking around with, it comes back to that. Like, whenever it doesn't work, you just have to make it work like a human more. So now Alfred basically converts it to an image and then sends it to the OpenAI vision model, and then that gets it out. And that was a bit shaky, but now, like with the Omni model that came out, it actually got a lot better.
You could power the EU with all the W3C people that are spinning in their graves right now.
All right, so that was one funny problem. Annoying problem though. Another one is sort of like how it works. So I share a message to Alfred, and Telegram sends my server a webhook. My server receives it and then starts talking to OpenAI and function calls, and it verifies the IBAN number with the checksum and all that stuff. And then, like, it does a bunch of stuff, and then it makes an API call to my bank to actually pay the money. Because if if it was fake, it wouldn't be no use. But what happens if after you make an API call to the bank, then there's a server bug? Then the Telegram webhook sees a HTTP 500 internal server error, and I didn't really think about that. But what do you think Telegram does when it gets a HTTP 500?
Throws out your bot.
It doesn't throw out your bot. That would be better than what actually happened. It calls you again. And again. And again. And again. And again. Until you run out of money. Which is a true story that actually happened. Fucking but yes, other than these babies that I've had to fix a bunch of stuff. So now before it actually sends money, it does like this Telegram multiple choice thing where you can say yes, no. And I added like a database to check if it paid this exact invoice before, and it checks if you already paid money to this person before. But yeah, it's sort of in production in the sense that I wrote it only for me, but it is paying all my invoices. My next stop for Alfred is getting money back from the Deutsche Bahn. I'm not sure if there's any fans here of Deutsche Bahn. I am not. I went on a night train to Basel. It was supposed to look like this, but when I got into the train at 11 p.m., it looked like this. They say, sorry, you can get your money back, and you get like this tiny German form, and they say something about some German bureaucracy. So my next task is actually for Alfred to go fix this problem, to search the internet how to get my money back, download a bunch of PDFs or whatever it needs to do, fill them in, send them out, and then do whatever it needs to do, like email follow-ups, phone call follow-ups, checking if the money is back into my account. It's kind of a stretch goal, but...
Are you trying to destroy Germany?
No, I'm just trying to get to Basel. Just trying to get to Basel. Oh yeah, so this is all the things that I hope it will one day do, but doesn't do yet. All right. More things that piss me off when you get a letter like this. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. This letter is een pareltje. It's from the Openbaar Ministerie that says that the meeting on January 5th, 2023 at 2 p.m. at the Openbaar Ministerie at the Prins Clauslaan, Bali Day in Den Haag, that is very important that you do not show up. Unbelievable. So this is actually a project that my girlfriend started to help people that get letters, that get annoying letters from bureaucrats, overly complicated letters, to help deal with them. It's called the Lees Simple app. It's actually very popular and it gets used a lot. It works like this: you grab a letter, you grab your phone, you use the app to make a photo, and then you get a compliment about it. Very important. And then you get a summary in very simple to understand language, in a very visually pleasing, calm demeanor. And people use this, a lot. It's a free app, sort of our community service project. This complement's actually a fun thing about the project. Whenever, when you take a picture, you get this. Everyone just lights up. You see people smile, they physically relax, the shoulders draw back. It's the best part of the app. It's also complete bullshit. At this point, we haven't even looked at the photo. It was just a placeholder in the beginning, but everyone triggers by it, gets triggered by it so badly that we just decided to keep, if it makes the world a better place, let's keep it in. One of the first versions of the app had I guess that every AI rookie app has. If you take a picture of this white wall, you would get a summary like this, with a completely confabulated bullshit letter that never existed. So we had to check for that. Another thing we learned on the project, we have a mix panel with all this sort of stats about the app and installs and all these things. And then we have open telemetry data to check at the latency of all the different bullet points that slide in, and the first one versus the rest of them. And then we have latency distribution graphs over time of the different language models providers and all this stuff. And we basically never fucking use it. We never use it. What we really use is a Telegram channel, and the server just sends an emoji when someone installs the app. And you get a text message when someone leaves a message. And we use that 100 times more than all of this fancy stuff. All right, I have one more that didn't actually happen, but we're just going to pretend that it happens. This guy. Take a moment to have this sign sort of enter your brain. And I would love for someone to answer the question if on Tuesday at 11 a.m. if I am allowed to park or not. Anyone?
No. That's the first one, right?
Anyone at all?
Just park to find out.
Just park to find out. So it turns out if you throw this thing into the new Omni model and ask it to, if you're allowed to park, it will actually write you a Python program according to the stuff on the sign to figure it out. And then if you ask it to turn that Python program into like a much more user-friendly sign, it will actually make this.
Wow.
And it's actually correct. So, you know, like with the whole room of really smart people and, you know, only one or a half maybe knowing if Tuesday 11 is on parking, like if that's not AGI, I don't know what the fuck it is. That's it for me. Some of the stuff in this talk was slightly exaggerated, but I thought it would be okay because if anyone cared about accuracy, there wouldn't be an AI meetup. Please, it really sucks that I have to build all this stuff. Why don't you build all this stuff that solves my problems? That would be great. If you do, I would love to lead your sheet round. You can find me at Lucas Meijer. I host a small AI hackathon from time to time. It's like 15 people. If you'd like to join one day, come find me. And that's it.
All right.